Hi everyone, I'm going to continue my series on chess miniatures today, and here we have Jan Timman against Ljubomir Ljubojevic, which was played in Linares in 1985. It was a great game from Timman, as you'll see. The opening was the poison pawn variation of the Sicilian defense, which goes as follows. White takes the b2, or black takes the b2 pawn, which is considered to be poison pawn. He gets his queen out of the game. It's dangerous to take pawns in the opening when the rest of your pieces are undeveloped, and results in lots of complications, as you'll see. So after the main line, rook b1, queen a3, bishop b2, bishop b7, castles, knight and b to d7, e5, d takes e5, f takes e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes f6. And here today, see, this game was played about 20 odd years ago, and now the current theory, the best play from here is g takes f6 with knight e4, f5, rook b3, queen a4, and the position's unclear really. It's difficult for either side to get a decisive advantage. There are pros and cons to both sides. Black has the bishop pair, but he's undeveloped, and white has better centralized pieces and good attacking chances. So in the game anyway, it went bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, which is a very natural looking move. It keeps the king's pawn safe, hopefully, and it has the minor drawback of what happened in the game, which is white sacrificing the exchange to open up lines on the king. And after knight e4, black played knight d7, which is a definite mistake, because it allows a crescendo of tactical opportunities. What's best here is to play queen e7, which the best play continuation is queen f4, king d8, knight takes f6, knight d7, knight takes d7, bishop takes d7, rook takes b7. And although white is slightly better here, black has a definitely playable game, and again, it's double-edged. It could go either way, but that's not what happened in the game. After knight e4, black played knight d7, and this is met first by rook b3, which is a dangerous move in itself. It threatens the queen, and the rook can move over to the g file later on, and white is getting a brilliant position now. He's outplaying black completely. So here the best move for black is to take a second pawn. Now he's 5 points up in terms of material, but white is getting a dangerous attack. Other possibilities here included queen a4, but white can reply to that with queen c3, then e5, knight f5, queen c6, queen b4, knight c5, knight to g7 check, king f8, knight takes c5, king takes g7, knight to e6 check, f takes e6, rook to g3 check, king f7, bishop h5 mate. So it's a crushing attack. So queen a4 is not a good option. Another possibility is queen e7, but that too gives white a massive attack. For example, the knight sacrifice, knight c6 is very strong here, with b takes c6, knight to d6 check, where king d8 is the only move, because king f8 results in a mate in 2 with queen h6, king g8, rook g3 mate. So king d8 has to be played, and that's followed by queen a5 check, knight b6, queen takes b6, king d7, knight e4, rook d8, rook d3 check, king e8, queen takes c6 check, bishop d7, rook takes d7. And from here white should win easily enough. So those are the other possibilities after rook b3, and taking on a2 is the best continuation for black. But again, now white gets good attacking chances with knight d6 check and king f8. The only other possibility here was king e7, but after queen b4, queen a1 check, king f2, black's basically helpless here. He's going to lose a lot of material or lose the game. So after knight d6 check, king f8, queen c3 was played, which is a really strong move, threatening things like rook a3. And here black made a decisive mistake, which was king g7. Instead he should have offered back some material in order to stave off the attack from white. With example, rook g8 and knight c8, knight takes c8, king g7. Here with knight e5, rook takes b7 favors white strongly. So rook g8, knight takes c8, king g7, knight d6, knight e5, bishop c4 is very unpleasant for black, but at least he could play on. It's not a completely lost position. But anyway, that's not what happened in the game. After king g7, there's a force mate now with knight 4 f5 check, e takes f5, knight takes f5 check, king g6 is the only viable move, king f8 and its mate in 3 with queen b4 check, king g8, rook g3 mate. So it's all over now really. After king g6, white plays queen h3, and there's nothing black can do to stave off the mate now. It's a force mate in 7 with black having to make stupid moves in order to stop it from happening immediately, like queen a1 or queen b2 check, and after that the king goes to f2 and it's all over. There's massive threats here with white, with things like well, the immediate rook g3 mate, but also queen h5 mate and many other variations. It's lost whatever black does here. So it's all over, and a great game from Timman, and a great example of why you shouldn't take the b2 pawn in the poison pawn variation of the Sicilian. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave any comments or thoughts. Thanks very much.